Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Tank Clash Western Front by Ameba Games.
Tank Clash is a game that is running on Kickstarter right now. It's already live, so make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign link in the description of this video down below after you've watched it. And in this, it is a game for 2 players. You're going to be going head-to-head in this, but this is a tank war game. And so you are going to be maneuvering your tanks about the board, rolling dice for combat. One player plays as the United States, the other plays as the Nazis. This has a World War II theme to it. It's a pretty straightforward skirmish game. Let me show you how it works down below, and then we'll come back and share thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer. All right, here's Tank Clash Western Front on the table. Now, I do want to let you know everything you see in this portion of the video is prototype. The final artwork, components, and rules may be different once it's released from crowdfunding. That being said, this is a 2-player tactical skirmish war game. You've got your Germany Nazi player over here, and you've got your US American player over here. And you are controlling tanks in this game. And you have different types of tanks as denoted by the tokens out here. You also have some really cool player boards here, one for each player. And the tanks are identical as far as the different stats go for each one. As you can see here, they're going to have stats here on the bottom. And so you have 3 different types of tanks for each player. You've got the M4 Sherman, the M18 Hellcat, and the M26 Pershing for the American player here. And the different stats here, the firepower is going to show you how far of a distance that particular tank can shoot, 2 hexes away, 4 hexes, and 3 hexes for the 3 different tanks here. The armor shows you how many different armor tokens go underneath that particular tank's token. And then the speed shows you how many spaces that tank will move when it does move. And as I mentioned, the tanks for the German player, they are going to have the same exact stats. We've got the Panzer IV, the Marder III, and the Tiger I tank. And there's a little flavor text here for each of the different tanks, historical notes about how they affected the war and that sort of thing. You do on the back of these player aids, you've got some rules here, the actions that you can do, your dice rolls, and the different cards that are going to be used in the game. So that's the components here. You do also have some dice, some just standard D6 dice that are going to be used for attacking, as well as some attack tokens as well. Now, how does this game play out? Well, players are going to put their tanks out one at a time. You're going to determine who the start player is by flipping this token here. And again, you'll place them out one at a time, and then you will be ready to play. Now, on a turn, turns are very simple. You are going to take 2 actions. The actions can be taken by the same tank. However, you cannot do the same action twice, or you can split up your 2 actions with 2 different tanks. So one action can be to move, and so this particular tank here could move. And again, the movement is determined by what type of tank you are moving. And then the second type of action is to shoot. And I could shoot with this tank, or I could shoot with another tank. However, I could not move twice nor shoot twice with the same tank. And the distance for shooting is, again, determined by the firepower here. So those are the 2 things you're doing. So what exactly are you trying to accomplish in this game? Well, there's a number of things that you might be doing. Mostly you'll want to destroy the other player's tanks or capture their checkpoints. That's these little tokens out here. And these are double-sided. When you capture them, you will flip them over and make them your side. And you are going to set these up on the back line here, which is going to be your home base tank, the 4th line, and the 7th line. So you may capture those, but there are also going to be secret mission cards here. And there are 6, but you have 3 different types, 2 for each kind. And so the 3 that you will have in this game capture any enemy checkpoint. And so you're going to deal these out secretly, and you're not going to be sure what the other player's objective is. And so maybe they have the very easiest one, which is capture any enemy checkpoint, not just the back one. You could capture this front line one, and that would be it. That would be all they have to do in order to win the game. Or they may have to kill the enemy ace. So what is the enemy ace? Well, each player has their own enemy or their own ace. And this is going to be a token that you put underneath one of the stacks here. And what this token will allow you is it will allow you to re-roll one die whenever you are attacking, or it may increase a die value. Your choice on that particular thing. So if you have this card, you need to destroy the tank that has the enemy ace in it, or destroy all enemy medium tanks. That's a particular type of tank out on the board. So you could win by accomplishing your secret mission. Otherwise, you need to destroy all the tanks or capture the home base, which is the one on the back line. And then that's pretty much the game. Now, how the attacking is going to work, when you do attack, you need line of sight, so you need to be able to see someone, and you are going to roll a d6. Now, when you roll something in this game, you're almost always getting something. A 1 is the only thing in where you're not getting anything. A 6 is a critical hit, and when you do that, you are going to remove one of the tokens off of the tank, and then you get a morale card. And these morale cards are going to come in 4 different varieties here. You've got your blue cards, which are going to do a lot of damage, they're going to repair. You've got your purple cards, which are going to be immediate benefits. You've got your red cards, which are going to let you add extra to your attacks, and then your green ones are going to be movement. And so you're going to draw one of these whenever you roll a 6. If you roll a 5, then you just get to remove 1 token. That's it. You roll a 4, and you are going to add some damage tokens. Now, damage tokens are not going to remove these armor tokens off of a tank necessarily. You're going to need 3 damage tokens in order to remove an armor token. So a 4 is going to let you put 2 tokens on a tank. A 3 will let you put just 1 token on a tank. A 2 is going to scare that tank. So it's not going to do any damage, but it's going to have that tank retreat 1 space. And so they will have to move back. And a 1 is a miss. So the 1 is the only negative roll for the attacking player. And that's pretty much it for a combat. Now, you do have some terrain on the board here. You've got your trees, which you can hide in trees and they will conceal you. But they're going to affect your movement. You're only going to be able to move 1 space when you're in these trees. You cannot move through water. You're going to have to cross bridges. However, you have the option to include additional bridges in the game if you'd like to, so that you are not just restricted to the 1 bridge printed on the boards here. You can include these tokens anywhere you want, and that will provide you another bridge to use. And these boards are modular. You can arrange these boards however you want to set up a map that's different every time you play. And the checkpoints are going to provide benefits to you. Whenever you're on a checkpoint, that is going to give you a bonus. It's going to repair and remove any damage tokens that are on your tank, and it will cause the attacking player who might be attacking somebody who is on a checkpoint, they're going to have to subtract 1 from their die rolls. That's it for the basic game. You do also have some tactical cards that are going to be dealt to each player at the beginning of the game. You're going to have 3 defend cards and 3 attack cards. Your attack cards are very simple. When you attack, they're going to give you a range of attack here. You're not just attacking the 1 hex with the tank, but you could attack anything that's touching that hex with artillery support. The infantry support, is going to let you add an extra die to your attack. And then air support is very much like the artillery support. It's just going to give you a different layout for hexes that you might be attacking when you attack the 1 hex. The smoke card is going to eliminate the attack option for your opponent on their turn, so they're not going to be able to attack you that particular turn. Repair is going to let you put back on an armor token. And then mines is going to do an automatic 2 damage attack to any tank that passes the halfway point and starts coming onto your side of the player board because you've laid down some landmines. So that's only going to do 2 damage. It's not going to be enough to take off an armor token, but that's still pretty nice to be able to do that once they cross half point. And that's pretty much the gist of the game here. That's what you have here with Tank Clash. The first person to achieve their win condition is going to be the winner. And there you have it. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one.
And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Tank Clash from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. So Sam, you are a non-gamer. What impression did you have with this game?
I mean, it definitely looks like, a war battlefield.
Sure.
It's a pretty simple setup too. So
Yeah.
I thought it would be a fairly simple game.
Yeah. Now the boards you can rearrange, and so this has a modular setup to it. You can rearrange the boards to create a different landscape, a playing surface every time you play that, so that gives it some replayability. Talk a little bit about the ease of play with this game. What's that like for you as a non-gamer?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Sometimes with war games, they're not the best games for non-gamers,
Right.
just because it's strategy and all that stuff.
Very
and,
tactical
yeah,
gameplay.
Yeah, but with this, every time you roll the dice, something's typically happening
Right.
almost every time. So you do feel like you have, and it is up to the dice as well. So the other person has the same advantages as you do.
Yeah, that's right. What Sam's referring to there, as you saw in the rules portion of the video, you're getting something more often than not when you're rolling the dice with this one. Really, more often than not, you are feeling like the dice work for you rather than against you. And like Sam said, you have the same dice for each player. So there's not like one person's getting an overwhelming advantage over somebody else.
Yeah.
Now you do have card play in this game as well. And so you can use those cards to your advantage to give you a little bit of a beef up, a little bit of advantage. And I think that's where some strategy comes in play into this. But I don't feel like that takes it to a level that most casual or non-gamers aren't going to be able to understand and feel engaged with. I still feel like this is a pretty accessible game, even with that tacked into it. So
yeah,
all in all, I feel like this is a fairly easy to grasp entry-level game into tactical skirmish war gaming for casual and non-gamers, but I still feel like it's pretty engaging and something that gamers can really kind of sink their teeth into. So
yeah, I agree.
Works well on both ends there. That's Tank Clash Western Front. It is from Ameba Games. It's running on Kickstarter right now, so make sure to check out the link down below in the description of this video, and please leave us some comments.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.